Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. First off, I really mean that. Welcome. That gets me in a good mood. I'm actually pleased that you stopped by our YouTube channel and visit. That means a lot to me. Speaking of things that mean a lot to me, I want to also mention the fact that I've been enjoying the comments I get, which brings up something else. I was going through the YouTube channel and I go through the analytics and all the stuff that you get when you have a YouTube channel, and I realized there were a whole bunch of comments in there that Google, and this is all done by computer, this is nobody's fault, this is all done in good faith. They held a lot of my comments back. Well, I should say your comments. They were held back for review or whatever that means. In other words, we think this may be of questionable something or other, and therefore they hold them back. Well, that's fine. I have no problem with that, except that I didn't realize they were there, and there was quite a few old comments, so I've been taking them out a little at a time and putting them in with the other comments and answering them. So if you find that you wrote in a comment to us like 2 or 3 months ago, and all of a sudden I answered it, it's nobody's fault but mine. I didn't realize it was held back and it was sitting there in a place doing nothing. And I do my best to answer all of the comments because I really do appreciate them. And since we've started the YouTube channel, it's kind of restored my faith in mankind a little bit. I have received some of the kindest, most wonderful comments that I've ever heard. It's just been wonderful. Okay, I needed to say that. And I also wanted to say, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And when you do, be sure and click on the little notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. Okay, I think that covers all that. Now we can get into the project at hand. I'm still waiting for parts. The front end is still at the frame shop, which is understandable. It takes special equipment to work on that Springer front end. You get all your equipment out to do a front end for somebody, and then you got to put it all away, and it takes a lot of figuring and a lot of work, and these guys are really good. And what they do is they wait till they have several Springer front ends to do. Then they get all their equipment set up and do one after another. I'm sure I save money that way too, which is important. Way important. Okay, next thing is, I do have the Project Bike's frame right here. And the way I normally build a bike, especially when I'm building something old, and in this case, everything is scattered because I've had it for so many years. I think I've mentioned before, this frame has already been pre-doctored. I had it all done. One of my buddies had it all done for me quite a few years ago. It's going to be blasted and probably powder coated when we're all done. But there's a number of things I'm going to want to do to this frame. It's not exactly going to be done as a stocker. It's going to be a period bobber type thing, and mostly stock stuff on it. This week, if I'm real lucky, I have to go out and visit an old friend of mine, and we've been involved in each other's projects a lot for the last 35, 40 years. Anyway, I called him the other day and I said, "You remember that pair of tanks that I really liked that you had?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You still have them?" He said, "Yeah, come on down and get them." So I'm going to go get those tanks, and hopefully I can make them fit this frame. They're a very cool pair of tanks, and I'm not going to tell you about them. You're just going to have to wait and be surprised. They're way cool. And they may not fit at all, but I'm dying to use them. Anyway, because they're cool. Okay, so what I'm doing is, because I don't have the front end, because it's at the frame shop. Oh, and I do have new cups ordered for these. I'm gonna try a nice trick I want to do with the cups that are coming in. And the reason this one just kind of does this is because it's intended for a Sportster, not for a big twin. And that's why I have new ones on order. I thought I had new ones, but I didn't, so they're on order. And they will be in about the 16th or the 17th. And I just got ordered to be careful of the microphone cord. Okay, now I'll get comments on not having a new microphone yet. Sorry about that. Okay, what I want to do is try all of this stuff. I have a pretty nice brake to use here. By nice, I mean it's a good original piece. I'm probably going to blast it and paint it. I do a lot of parts painting. Some stuff I get powder coated. Some stuff I like to paint myself. Some things people like to chrome, and I don't know. There's something nice about applying your own paint job. And I think we'll get into that because my old friend that I used to work with for so many years, he and I developed our own way of painting that really, really works and is really, really durable and is really, really cheap. And I think I'm going to show how to do that. Although I'm sure a lot of people already know. Anyway, this is the backing plate. This is a mechanical brake backing plate. This is original paint, I think, in this thing. Makes it a pretty nice piece. Here's the shoes and stuff that I took off of it. And we'll probably be relining those. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do there. But we're going to try this backing plate on right now. Now, this sleeve here goes in from the inside. This stuff is not as clean as it's going to need to be, but that's all right. We're just doing a trial fit. And I noticed that this brake cam here, that the bushing in there is pretty worn. So we'll be replacing that bushing too. That's another reason for assembling all this stuff, is seeing what you need to do before you want to make it all work. Okay, that backing plate is now in place. Now, one of the things I like to do is I'm kind of a nut on the hardware kits. Now, these are not bad parts. I'm sure I could clean the paint off them and they'd look okay. But I really like new hardware kits where the parts are real duplicates of the originals. And I really like chrome nuts and bolts when they're really done nicely. And that's when everybody asks me why I don't use a 12-point wrench, why I'm using an open end, is because I don't like knocking the chrome off of all the corners. So there that is. I'm sorry, there it is. Okay, now what I want to do is put the brake drum in place. Now this is an old battered brake drum, and I got a feeling I'm going to be replacing it. But right now, I'm showing how to install the rear wheel. Now for those who don't know these parts, it's kind of nice for me to be able to demonstrate them. Now the brake drum goes on before the rear wheel goes on. Actually, same thing in the front. That's the way these are designed. Can you see these dowel pins here, Mike, with the camera? That's good. Okay? Because that's how the wheel slides on. All right. Now, I happen to like this particular tire. I'm not pushing the brand or anything like that. But the profile of this tire makes it really nice on an old rigid frame bike. And I like the front that matches it, which is why we laced up a 19-inch wheel for the front. This is a 16. Now if I can get this thing in here well, I think I can. What I do when I mount these on my other bikes, such as the Panhead or the Knucklehead, let's see if I got that right. No, I didn't. Now I did, I think. All right, we'll get it to go on there. And I think I need my flashlight. If I had my flashlight, then I can see where those dowel pins are. Oh, okay, I'm off. And now, I believe I'm on. Yes, I am. Okay, now we can look in there. I'm going to shine the light on it. Let me get a dim light rather than a bright one. And you can see the dowel pins and where the lug bolts go on. I'm not going to put lug bolts in there because that old brake drum has got oversized holes in it. Another reason I think I'm going to replace it. Okay, now there's a spacer goes on this side. And the axle goes through. I'll get a little persuader here. There it is. And the axle's in place. All right. Interestingly enough, the wheel came out pretty much in the middle of the motorcycle. But my point of all this assembly is to try it all on the bike and find out what I need to order. I will make a note after we finish this video that I need all these hardware pieces, maybe even a new axle. I do have a new wheel. I haven't gotten the tire yet, but this is my spare wheel for the knuckle or the pan, and it's exactly the same wheel as we're putting on here, the new wheel that we're putting on here. And we'll be putting a brand new tire just like this one on here. So at least now we know that we have this stuff and what parts of it we want to use and what parts of it we don't. So now that I've started back here, I will just continue right on through and forward. So basically the next thing I'm going to look at, I don't think I'm going to mount a tranny plate today, but you will notice that the brake lever down here that comes off the rear brake, the rod goes from that and goes forward because the brake pedal is on the right side even though the brake itself is on the left. So the next thing is the cross shaft. And here we have a new cross shaft to go through here. Something I just happen to have in stock. So we're going to have a brand new cross shaft. There's 2 bronze bushings in here. And while I'm out today, I'm going to see if I can get a bottle brush to clean them. And if they're too worn, which I expect they will be, I do have the bushings, which actually came with this new cross shaft, and I can put the new bushings in there. Maybe that's something we'll even show on here, unless the bushings are in real good shape. I'm not real optimistic about that, but I have the bushings, so why not? So that pretty much takes care of what we're going to do for now. I did want to show, when I say that this tire will match well with the front one, this is the wheel that we have built on the YouTube channel, and I did get a new tire for it. I just put it on, and so let me show it. I'm real pleased with it, with the new tire, and this is the tire that matches the 16. This is a 19 here. I would have gotten a 21, but they don't make that 21-inch tire anymore. So I got it in a 19. I have the rear one in a 16, and it's going to be real nice. It's going to be real comfortable, real smooth, and I'm going to love going places on it. So I think that about does it for today. At least you know where I'm at and what's going. I got to apologize to everyone, especially myself, that this is taking so long. It's getting real frustrating. But things are getting shipped and they're coming and everybody's doing what they're supposed to, so I have no one to complain to. So we'll be talking about it again real soon, and until then, I'll see you out on the road.